Okay, here's a trade Monday morning, October the 24th, 2011, with E-mini Day Trader. You can see that we have just been filled at 1243.25. The market has bounced 3 ticks to our first objective, so you can see that the stop has already moved up from 1241.75 to 1242.50, and the way that the automated trade management feature works inside Ninja, this is not our program, obviously. Okay, you can see we just got filled on our first objective. The way the automated trade management feature works in Ninja is that once the first objective is reached, or the way I should actually say the way that we have it set up is that once our first objective is reached, which is 3 ticks, the stop will be reduced from 6 ticks down to 3. So and the actual protocol that Ninja uses in their automated trade management tool, which is what we are using in this example, the stop will automatically adjust even though you haven't yet been filled, which can actually happen a fair amount of the time because the market can come up and hit your target right on the dot like it did a moment ago there, and then back off and you didn't actually get filled on your limit exit order. However, the stop will adjust automatically anyway, and that's what happened there. But we have been filled, so worst case scenario on this particular trade, if the market were to drop down to 1242.50, 3 ticks below our entry price, which is where we're trading right now, we would end up with a scratch trade or a break-even trade because we've already exited one half of our position, and we've made 3 ticks profit on each one of those two contracts. And now we've got two contracts remaining. So should the market come down and hit 1242.50, that would be 3 ticks below our entry, and we lose 3 ticks on those two contracts. So it would be a scratch or a break even. In other words, we'd make a total of 6 on the profit, but we'd lose a total of 6 should we get stopped out. So that's how we manage the first position and the first adjustment of the stop. Should the market move up to 1244.75, which you can see as our second target, you can see we have a limit order there to sell 1. That green tag says 1 sell T2, so T2 is target 2, and the number of contracts to sell at that price is 1. And should the market rally up and hit 1244.75, then our stop would adjust to break even at 1243.25 even before we get filled. And this does happen sometimes too, that the market will come up and hit our second objective. We don't get filled. It'll come back and stop us out on break even. In that case, for the second half of the position, obviously we want to get filled on it, and then the stop would automatically be reduced to just 1 contract at break even. We would make the profit on the second target and then break even on the final 1/4 of the position. So hopefully we're going to have a fill here soon. It looks like it wants to move up, which is a good sign. So if we can hit that 1244.75, that's our second target, and the stop will adjust. So you can see our entry price here, very, very plain, very, very clear on our software, where it says where you can see over on the left side there the up blue arrow and a price of 1243.25, and then the dotted line. So when that dotted line, that blue horizontal dotted line, when it started, that's when we actually put the order in. And you can see that it took approximately 25 minutes or so for the market to come down and fill us on this long trade at 1243.25. So, sometimes we put an order in, it gets filled sometimes very, very quickly. Not usually. Usually there's several minutes at least, but in this particular example there was quite a bit of time. Like I say, some 25 minutes or so. So we're just going to let the market keep playing out here. we have been in a good up move here since Friday. Today's Monday, and we're just getting follow through of that. Okay, there the market has hit our second objective. So you see our stop has moved to break even for two contracts, and now we have been filled. So you will see that the stop will reduce down to just one contract here in just a moment. So this is a good sign. Obviously, we like to see the market, move higher when we're in a long trade. Obviously, so that's a good sign. We're just going to keep monitoring this, and hopefully we can continue to see additional buying in the market, and we'll have a good trade here. So we're just going to keep monitoring it. What I have noticed sometimes, though, is that with the NinjaTrader and also doing a live recording, it does tend to bog down, I guess, the system on occasion, and it just kind of freezes. It doesn't really freeze, but the prices don't come through. They tend to kind of get delayed for some reason, and until the buffering can take place, and then it starts to show it again. But there we go. So what I will do, you see it's down to 1. So I'm going to just cancel this automatic order, because you have to have a target for your final 1/4 position. And I think in this case, here's our entry at 43.25. I'm just going to put a manual stop in there to sell one. And this final partial in this particular trade, I think I will manage it just manually, because the market has been pretty strong, and we just might be on board here for a pretty nice trade. And so we're just going to use our software here to help us manage this trade. So what I will do, as the market moves, I will pause it and then get the recording back. Okay. So I've restarted it here once we have made the first objective of 3, or not first objective, but our first objective, where we will manually adjust the stop, and that's when the market reaches 3 points or 12 ticks. So in that case, it would have to move up from 1243.25 to 1246.25, and it's done so, and I've adjusted the stop upward. So we at least salvage 1/3 of this move. In other words, we're going to at least make 1 point or 4 ticks. And I will just keep pausing and adjusting this as the market moves either for or against us. So just to make sure the video is not too long. Okay, the market has moved up higher again. It's hit another 3 ticks. I'll move the stop up another 1 tick. Now in this particular case, you can see we've got this blue buying bar, and its low is at 1246. So as soon as this bar closes, I will use this bar as long as it's still what we call a buying paint bar. And okay, this bar is closed, so just adjust the scale here a little bit. So you can see the low of this bar here at 1246 even. So I'm going to place the stop 2 ticks below that bar's low. And so now our stop is at 1245.50. Now we're long at 1243.25, so we have locked in 2 1/4 points, which is the equivalent of 9 ticks. So on the final 1/4 of the position. So on this trade with the 4 contracts, okay, good. The market has rallied up here again, and we have a higher buying paint bar, and its lows at 1247. So I'll place a stop at 1246.50 on this particular trade now. So should the market stop us out at 1246, as I was mentioning on the previous one, in this case now we've locked in 3 1/4 points. 3 points is well, each tick is $12.50, and there's 4 ticks in a point. So we have another buying paint bar here, and so I'm going to adjust the stop again down to 1247.75, which is 2 ticks below the low of this buying paint bar. And should we get filled at 1247.75, we're still going to be able to lock in 4.5 points, which is $225 on this final contract. Of course, we've already made 12 ticks, which is 150. So we're going to certainly lock in some nice profits on this particular trade here today. So we've been in this trade here for a while, not a terribly long period of time, but longer than the average. We've been in this trade now for some, that's been about 30 minutes. I've been stopping the video as it kind of pauses, and then restarting the video once we need to make an adjustment in our stop. So I'm just trying to keep the video down to as short a period of time as possible, and I'm continuing to keep pausing it and then restarting it. So if it seems a little jumpy at times, that's why. Okay, we've just had another buying paint bar, and I just adjust the stop to 2 ticks below, so our stop is now at 1248 even. So now should the market come on in and stop us out at 1248, we're long on this final contract from 43.25. So you can see, it's almost reached 1250, so that's almost 7. So we've been on side max so far 6.5. So you can see, using our stop technique here, we're still going to be able to salvage 4 3/4 of that 6.5 points. So these paint bars really do assist us nicely in managing the trade. So another 1250, I guess that'll be on that. So if we should get stopped out on this, but we have found these paint bars to be really valuable, not only in helping us gauge what we think is going on in the market, but from a trade management standpoint as well. The 12 ticks initially, and then we've got 19 ticks on this, so that's 31 ticks or so. So it's about 8 points, which is 400. So it's just shy under $400 on this particular trade on these 4 contracts. Should we get stopped out at 48 here? So, but this trade has been going on for a while, about 40 minutes now. So good length of time. If you can get on the right side of a trade and hold on to it, you can. Sometimes we get trades that'll last, a few hours, which is a pretty long trade for a day trade, obviously. So, it's good to see the market having those kinds of moves and allowing us to do so in this kind of environment. So you can see we have another trade that's setting up here. Should we get stopped on this, we'll go ahead and put a buy limit in at 1246.50, as you can see there. Okay, we've been stopped out on this trade. Nice trade, almost 8 points on this one. Took about 30-40 minutes on that trade. So good example of trade management.